This is ABTV, Animal Bites Television.
All right, so guys, today's show is going to be all about answering questions. I get hundreds and hundreds of emails and messages each day. I just want to roll through. Oh my God, this girl is big and she's heavy. Oh, and I want to roll through and answer the most frequently asked question, starting with, what's my biggest snake? And it's actually Lucy here, a tiger reticulated python. And holy cow, is she a big animal. And I tell you what, she is hard to handle, but she's really an awesome, awesome snake. She's just over 19 foot long, and she is all muscle and weighs a ton. Trust me, when you're messing with an animal this size and she's kind of holding on, she's gripping me hard. She's really controlling me more than I'm controlling her. And I don't know exactly how much she weighs, but I'm sure she's at least 150 pounds, and it's 150 pounds of muscle. But what an incredible snake. Lucy here is just a great ambassador to reptiles. So when you see an animal this large and this heavy, what a cool snake it is. So this show is all about answering your questions. The first one again, my biggest snake, Lucy, the reticulated python. I hope you guys are gonna enjoy this. My name is Brian Barczyk. I'm no zoologist, just a guy with a passion for animals. And that passion often takes me on animal adventures around the world. This week, I'll be answering the most frequently asked questions. You're watching Snake Bites. There's no doubt that the coolest part of my job is answering your guys' questions. I get tons of emails, messages, tweets, you name it, and every day I get hundreds and hundreds of awesome questions. Usually it has to do with the care of your animals or something that I can help you with, but there's a lot of really frequently asked questions, and I just figured, why not do a show and answer them so that you guys don't have to ask me them every day. Not that I mind it, ask away, but probably the most absolutely, by far, most asked question is, what is my favorite reptile? And I want to show you guys so I can just put this to rest right now. And I tell you what, I absolutely love this girl right here. Take a look at this. This is a blue-eyed leucistic ball python. What an amazing animal. She's full of eggs right now, so she's going to have babies pretty soon. But, you know, actually, I take that back, guys. You know what? That's not my favorite animal. You know what I think is my, hang on, I'm trying to think. Yeah, come over here, come over here. This is it. Oh my God, take a look at this snake right here. This is actually an Enchi lesser spinner ball python. Look at that thing. Again, that's a bunch of different morphs here. So you've got Enchi, you've got lesser, spider, pinstripe, all the things I really, really love. So that's definitely my favorite. No, actually, that's not my favorite snake. I do love that snake, but I think, you know, it's a really cool snake. I think this one might be my favorite snake. Just take a look at this thing right here. This is actually a Sabu Python. These guys are from Indonesia, and just take a look at how cool that animal is. I tell you, it's definitely, when I think of favorite snakes, this has to be one of them for sure. But again, one of them. I can't say it's just that one. You know, I'm thinking of a couple. You know what I really love? Take a look at this animal over here. This has gotta be it right here. I mean, I just always love this animal right here. So take a look. Oh, hang on, so let me get him out here. All right, take a look at him right there. I've showed him before. This is my guy, Rico. That's right, he's a black-tailed crebo and a huge colubrid snake, and he's been breeding a couple females, including my girl, Maya, and that is a beautiful snake. I don't know how anyone could think that that's not their favorite reptile, but you know, I'll be honest with you, you know, he's awesome, and so are those other ones awesome, but there might be, you know, I've had this new fascination with blue-tongued skinks, so I tell you, probably one of my favorite blue-tongued skinks, it's gotta be one of my favorite animals, is this girl right here. Take a look at this. This is a Hypo Eastern blue-tongued skink, and she's actually been bred, so she's starting to puff up, and I think she might become gravid pretty soon, so she's gotta be, you know, hey guys, let's just face it, I can't pick a favorite animal. I love them all. The truth is, every time I walk down these aisles or I'm in another collection or I'm traveling, I see animals that I absolutely love. So I always say, picking a favorite snake is like, to me, picking a favorite child. If you had 4 kids, you wouldn't be able to pick the favorite one. The truth is, it's the same thing with reptiles. So when it comes to my favorite animal, I love them all. The next question I get asked all the time is, what's the worst snake bite that you've ever had? And since I've been doing the Venom Hunters show on Discovery Channel, which by the way airs tonight and every Wednesday at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, so make sure to tune into Discovery Channel, has been about snake bites. Now when I'm handling venomous snakes, I've never been bit one time. Now listen, I've always said there's no badge of honor for getting bit by a venomous snake. That doesn't mean that experienced people don't get bit, but listen, I don't want to be that guy that's been bit 5 or 6 times and bragging about it. The truth is, I never want to get bit by a venomous snake. But when it comes to non-venomous snakes, I've been bit quite a bit, and you guys have seen some of them. Things like that python bite down in Australia, that was pretty radical. But the truth is, the worst bite ever was down at my buddy Troy in Denver, down at the K Brothers in Australia, and it happened to be a black-headed python. They took it out. Let me reenact this. This is exactly how this whole scene went. Back up here a second, I'm gonna use this Walma python right here. All right, so this is the deal, guys. I get down there and they're showing me this beautiful collection. They do black-headed pythons and carpet pythons, absolutely gorgeous. And they say, I've got this black-headed python, big girl that you gotta film. And I'm gonna use a Walma python because I don't have blackheads, and Walmas are really similar to black-headed pythons. And this was actually a much smaller animal here than that black-headed python that Denver had. And he said, this thing is puppy dog tame. I've heard this from Troy and Denver over and over again. They tell me things are tame and then they bite the heck out of me. And sure enough, I had this black-headed python and I'm talking, saying, this thing is gorgeous, beautiful. It comes up and wham! It attaches, oh God, it almost bit me. It attaches right to my inner bicep right there. And it's squeezing and squeezing and it wouldn't let go. We stopped filming and Denver comes over and they're laughing. You know, Troy and Denver thinks it's funny as heck. I'm in writhing pain and I can't get this thing off. And for like 5 minutes, seemed like an eternity. This thing is just chewing on my inner bicep. Hurt so bad. Finally, it was so bad that I literally just had to pull the snake off and you could hear the skin ripping. It left some teeth in there. I didn't want to hurt the animal, but it hurt so bad. It was funny because I had my whole inside of my bicep was just bruised like you couldn't believe for about 2 weeks. So that was probably the most painful and worst python or snake bite I've ever had. And I got to appreciate the K Brother Pythons for giving me that. Thanks a lot, guys. When you come visit me, I'm going to show you a couple of really tame snakes, starting with Satan. I tell you, people watch the show a lot, and one of the things that they always talk about is, how can I do what you do? You know, how can I get into the snake business and maybe even make a lot of money at the snake business? And one of the things I really talk about right from the beginning is the fact that if you want to get into the reptile business or any animal business for that matter, for the money, just really save yourself the headache and don't do it. It's not going to help you, and it's certainly not going to help your animals. Now, I've told people all the time, you don't have to be ashamed to making money on animals as long as the animals are always coming first. If you think you're just going to get into breeding reptiles and producing awesome snakes and next thing you know you're going to be rich and never have to worry about working again, you probably need to get into another world, because the one thing about breeding reptiles is that it's a 24/7 job. You know, this is my 28th breeding season as a professional, and I tell you what, I've never really had a break, you know? I mean, 7 days a week, whether I'm in town or out of town, I'm doing something with animals. And even when I'm out of town, not on vacation, but working a film project or working with another collection or at a reptile show, I'm always worried about what's happening here at the shop. I'm always thinking what I need to do, what needs to be back. So the fact is that I love my life. I love working with reptiles, things like this albino emery rat snake. I mean, they're absolutely gorgeous, and I couldn't imagine not being around animals all the time. But I tell you, I could make so much more money if I put the energy that I put into reptiles into almost any business out there, to be totally honest with you. The fact is that this is a labor of love. I remember once Eugene Bissett of Ophiological Services once said, the fruits of our labor are our labor. And that basically just means that what I get from being able to work and sell and breed snakes is the ability to continue to work, sell, and breed snakes, or whatever animal for that matter. So again, just to reiterate, the fact is that if you want to get into the snake business or any animal business, don't do it for the money. Hey, you can make money, you can make a good living, and sometimes you won't make good money and you sometimes won't make a good living. But the fact is if you love the animals and they're always first, you're going to absolutely love the experience as much as I have. The last question I get all the time is, what's the future of BHB? What am I going to do a year or 3 years or 5 years from now. And the fact is, anyone that's kind of been following my career knows that I'm in constant flux of change. You know, one of the things I think about being a successful business, of any business, but in particular with reptiles, is kind of the ability to kind of change yourself and reinvent yourself all the time. Go where things are going to go in the future and try to trend set as much as you can. Everyone knows that blue-tongued skinks are a passion of mine right now, and everyone knows that I think that they are the future of the reptile hobby as far as the next big thing. You know, we rode the ball python thing for 15 plus years, and trust me, I think ball pythons will always be one of the best pet snakes out there, and I'm totally just into working with them. I'm not going to change that. But the truth is, I think that over the next 2-3 years, everyone that kind of worked with ball pythons are going to realize how amazing blue-tongued skinks are. You know, just the color changes and the differences, as well as the fact that they're such amazing animals. So that's certainly going to be a big part of my future. With that said, I'm going to continue working with the snakes I work with. I love snakes. I'm still always going to be a snake guy, and you guys know that I've really been embracing the educational side of things, whether it's through Snake Bites, Animal Bites, or now Venom Hunters, and even Brian in the Wild, that's coming together really well, the documentary we shot in Africa. I want to be more excited and part of that future. Being able to reach people with the fact that animals and all wildlife, but in particular snakes and reptiles, are just amazing animals, and so that people can be as excited about them and appreciate them as much as I do, and I know you do as well. So who knows what the future holds. I'm just going to keep on rolling, and as opportunities come up, I'm going to take them the best I can. In the meantime, I'm going to enjoy every day, really enjoy working with these animals, and hope that the future is as bright as I think it's going to be. And as always, you guys know it, I was Facebooking and tweeting my way through it. So make sure to follow me over at SnakeBytesTV and on Instagram at SnakeBytes.tv. And keep those questions coming, guys. Comment down below, send me a message, whatever you want to do. It'll be awesome to hear from you. Until next week, you've been watching Snake Bites.
Hi, I'm Peter Birch, an Aussie bloke who loves wildlife. My respect for nature started when I was a young boy in rural New South Wales. Since then, it's exploded into an obsession. New episodes every Thursday only on AnimalBytesTV.